Hey guys, just wanted to do another quick YouTube video. I had mentioned before I'm going to try to do them more often because I've kind of completely neglected it in the last, I'd say, year or so, just with the discovery of Instagram and how much easier that is. And I hadn't really been doing a lot in the shop for a while, and lately I've been on a bit of a kick. So I'm actually just finishing up close to 3 weeks of holidays from my 9 to 5, if you will. So I've had a lot of time to work on some stuff, so I decided to give you a quick look at kind of what's been going on. Bench is a little messy, but that tends to happen when you're just out here working away. So first of all, I guess I'll just talk about these. They're kind of the most shiniest things on the bench, kind of catching everyone's eye probably. So these are my bronze bandicoots. I have the 2.5 and the 4, so that's the G2.5 model. That's the G4 model. This is they come from water jet, and then I clean them all up. They always have a little tab from where they were connected to the sheet. If you look up there, you'll see all the various drop sheets from all of my projects this year. So I've gone through quite a few bandicoots, but this is the batch I'm working on now. So these are thick 954 series bronze. So I've gone through and I've ground off. There's always like a little stick, as I was saying, and then I have the water jet guy leave this little bottle opener part as a perfect point, and that way I can kind of modify, make sure it opens perfectly when it's actually opening bottles. So 2.5 and 4, here's kind of what they look like once they've been cleaned up. So I obviously hand grind the pry tip in, and then the little swedges on the sides. Then I go around with a Scotch-Brite belt, and I knock off all the edges. If this will focus for me, you'll be able to see that. You can see on this top right underneath my thumbnail, it's kind of like radiused as opposed to just a sharp 90 on the top one. So I go around and hit every edge, so it's actually nice and smooth in the hand, and it's nice and radiused. So that's kind of what they look like after they've been sandblasted and stonewashed and ground and everything. So here's a little limited edition one I'm doing. I'm calling it the Armored Bandicoot. I picked up a mill. I think I mentioned that in my last video. If not, you can see it right over there. That's my new mill. So I've just been playing with it. It's all hand done, so I just did a simple little, almost like a diamond plate texture just in the surface of this side. And I'm waiting for some solution to come tomorrow so I can force a patina, so it'll get nice and dark, and it'll kind of be my ancient armor bandicoot. I like to do little sprint runs that I number separately, and that way it just kind of makes them exclusive and lets me have a bit more fun as opposed to making 10 of these or 10 of those or something like that. So and these are quite a bit thicker too, these bronze. Obviously they're a bit heavier, and you can see here, this is the original G1 Bandicoot. I still have one of them left. I think it's pretty cool, but you can see the thickness difference. So they're completely different. Same tool, same features, but just kind of a different animal just because the weight and the heft and everything. So also working on a little batch of these Mokume hearts. I buy my Mokume. This one's about half gone. But when I buy my Mokume, I get it from a place or a guy, but his company is Sakmar Enterprises. That's what he calls it. So this is 1/8 inch 2-color raindrop Mokume. So raindrop on this side, kind of just a random pattern on this side. So this comes as a 2 by 12 inch bar, which I then color with a Sharpie scribe lines, cut it on my bandsaw, the little squares. And the squares I drill holes, and these are obviously still in progress, but I smooth out all the edges, I countersink the holes and make them into little hearts, and here's kind of what they look like when they're done. I force a patina on them, and they get this really cool texture. So this is nickel, silver, and copper. So the nickel silver is sort of the lightish sand color, and the copper is that orangey color, and then the separating line almost becomes black. So, and I hand hammer them too, so it has like a hammered, I call it my relic heart pendant. It almost feels like it came off a sunken ship or something like that, just because it feels kind of old, and the texture. So, and then all the edges get beveled as well. So quite a bit of work goes into these guys, but they're fun to do sometimes. They've been pretty popular, so I'm trying to get a few done up before Christmas in case anyone's interested. Another project I've been working on is the G3 Bandicoot. So based off the G2.5, kind of the same front end, but then I did them at a D2 steel, and I had a little edge put on them. So here's mine. Try not to cut myself here. Sorry, this isn't mine. This is one of the ones I've sold. This one had a 2-tone blade. So a satin, it's going to be hard to pick up in the light here, but it's got a satin blade and then a dark stonewash finish everywhere else. Little tight edge on the back. But They're all just chisel ground with my logo on it. They were about 4 inches overall length. And I think this one was the one I decided to keep for myself. Yeah, this one was mine. I marked prototype on it. So, see, it's kind of a handy little tool. I think it's about 1.5 inch or 2 inch blade. Chisel ground with a little convex edge on the back. This little hole kind of reduces the weight because this is steel and kind of gives you something to pinch for traction. And then it's got the same jimping on it. So, and the sheath was designed, if I can get this in here without cutting myself. So obviously it would normally be done two-handed. Sheath was designed with these little cutbacks here in the kydex so that you can still use it, all the other features of it, while the blade's in the sheath. So that was a fun little project. I did about 20 of those, and I think they're all but 3 of them are sold now. And lastly, back onto just regular blades. I did a run of 5 of these sort of EDC version 2 fixed blades. And it feels good to be grinding again. These are all right-hand chisel ground with my maker's mark on it. They'll be a little smudgy because they're a little oiled up, but this is 1/8 D2. Nice little satin finish, a 3/16 stainless pin, and a 1/4 inch tie lanyard tube at the back. So again, the lighting isn't the best here. I just sort of have desk lamps everywhere, but you get the idea. There's some nice pictures on my website actually. If you go, I've added these two to the knives page because they are available right now, but some nice proper outdoor pictures. So this one's OD Canvas Micarta. You can see it's just a nice little medium to large size hands for me, and it's a nice little 4-finger grip. Nothing huge. I think it's about 6 3/4 overall, but just a nice tight little edge and sharpening notch on the back. Again, mind all the flecks of dust that the light just seemed to be picking up in here. So that was one of them. Then the other one was kind of just the opposite. It was a OD green sheath with black scales. So again, just really nice, clean little blades. Feels good to be making blades again. And yeah, that's kind of the update, what I've been doing, guys. I have not several, but 6 more of the version 1 EDC blades here. Some more of these bigger blades. These are all 3/16 D2, but these are kind of going back to some of my older designs. So that's kind of what's going on right now with me. Got a big order of kydex in, about, I think it's 2 square feet per sheet, and we have, I think, 12 square sheets there, so 24 square feet of kydex, which should be enough to last me for a while as I get going on the blades again and having fun with the Bandicoot tools. They're just kind of a neat little way to get away from the blades and be a little more creative in terms of like the milling patterns. This was just a test piece, but I have a rotary table and a whole bunch of different end mills now, so I can do sort of cool little inlays maybe and patterns and things like that. So anyway, guys, that's just a bit of an update on what's going on in the shop. I don't think there's really anything else I can show you that's different. I guess I can walk you over here real quick. Just sort of give you a look at these. I had my water jet guy, again, even this table's a mess, but I had my water jet guy cut me a bunch of just blank kind of lock bar sides out of 160 thou titanium. So I've been playing with my mill on getting the lock bar cut out, and he gave me, I got quite a few of them here. So I had my prototype that I did all by hand with a Dremel. It's kind of in pieces right now, but you get the idea. And I've kind of just been working on getting a prototype kind of built up. But see, that's kind of the blade that I'm going for. I guess this is an easier way to show you too. It'll look something like that. And I'm just working on getting all that put together, but I don't want to really spend a lot of money on parts and wasting titanium if I don't have one sort of dialed in. So I'm kind of doing all the first ones by hand, which is kind of why I don't have any pilot holes or anything laid out for the pivot. Usually you get the water jet guy to punch little holes for the pivot and the stop pin and any screws, but because I don't know exactly what I'm making yet, I just had them leave them blank and I can drill and tap them myself. So a bit more work, but it saves me the headache of getting my water jet guy to cut out 20 pieces of something I can't use. So anyway, that's just a bit of an update. I kind of rant on a bit, but this might be the only video I do for a month or two, so kind of like to show you guys exactly what's going on. You can see my rotary table set up. It's just a little 4-inch one. I'd like to upgrade to a 6-inch one probably, but it's locked right now with this little lock screw, but that's where I did all the milling for that those armored bandicoots. And so yeah, that's a bit of an update, guys. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, emails, or if you're interested in any of the gear you see here, you can check it out on my website. That's why I brought these out here, just to give you a look at the my titanium tools. Come with these cards. It's got my email, my website, and everything on it. I'm working with an artist right now, actually. He's redoing my logo, and he has another image, sort of a knight's helmet logo that I'm going to be putting on shirts, and I'm going to get some patches and stickers made up. For a long time, I was just getting these made up where I was getting my business cards, but they're just little tiny paper stickers that wouldn't last outside, and they're just very kind of do-it-yourself stickers. So I'm going to get an actual vinyl cut 2x4 inch sticker that's actually durable and lasts and costs me a bit of money, but at least that way I can start including that with my product and just make the whole package a little nicer. So, and then I did up these cards for when I do blades. So on the back it lets me do the name of the blade, steel scales, date, and sign it. Just make it everything a little more official. So anyway guys, that's it for now. The bronze bandicoots and the slimline bandicoots, which are basically the thin titanium ones. Here's a blank here. So the slimline is this thickness, and the regular stock is above. You can see that. So the slimlines are a little more affordable, but they're available on my website now, as well as these couple bronze ones if you're interested. And these I sell through my Instagram page, the hearts. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. If you have any questions, shoot me an email or leave a comment below. I'll try to get to them and give you any answers I can. Thanks again.